There's a quiet transformation taking place in the American handgun market, and hardly anyone is talking about it. While flashy polymer pistols and kitted-out carbines steal the limelight on social media feeds, a few classic-style revolvers have been making steady gains behind the scenes. No hype, no viral fame, no influencer promos, just dependable metal, proven reliability, and slowly growing trust from real shooters. These aren't the attention-grabbing firearms that rack up views on YouTube or trend on Instagram. They're not chasing clout, but the sales numbers speak volumes. Week after week, these wheel guns are getting scooped up, carried, and used by folks who care about practicality more than internet buzz. This ranking isn't based on guesswork or random online opinions. It comes from hard data, sales trends, and what I've seen firsthand in gun shops and at the range. A couple of these models might catch you off guard. Others may already have a home in your safe. Either way, here's what's really going on with the revolvers that are quietly becoming the best-selling handguns in America. Colt Python. Let's start with a heavyweight in the revolver world, not just in name, but in cold, forged steel. The Colt Python was brought back into production a few years ago without flashy gimmicks or over-the-top marketing. Instead, Colt let its craftsmanship do the talking and shooters listened. This modern Python is chambered in .357 Magnum with a 6-round cylinder, stainless steel construction, and a ventilated rib barrel. It's available in barrel lengths of 3 inches, 4 1/4 inches, and 6 inches, and features upgrades like a reinforced top strap and a refined trigger system, proof that Colt didn't just ride nostalgia, they re-engineered it for modern shooters. This revolver feels more like a custom-built precision tool than a mass-produced sidearm. The single-action pull is crisp and lighter than you'd expect, and the double-action press is buttery smooth with no grit. Even with full-house .357 Magnum loads, the 6-inch barrel helps soak up recoil with proper grip technique. It lets you feel the power without punishing your hand for it. What makes the Python stand out in this context isn't just heritage, it's actual buying behavior. Check out Gunbroker's revolver rankings from late 2023 through early 2025, and you'll find the Python regularly holding a top-tier spot. According to Gunbroker's report from May 2025, the Colt Python was the #1 revolver in terms of sales that month. It's not flashy, not pushed with huge ad campaigns, but folks are still ordering them like crazy, often waiting weeks just to get their hands on one. The reason becomes obvious once you shoot it. Perfect balance, smooth timing, tight lockup, it just works. After firing a few cylinders, you understand why people are happy to spend over $1,300 for it. This isn't a safe queen anymore. It's a working revolver that's earning its keep. Heritage Rough Rider. Next is a revolver that couldn't be more different, basic, affordable, and surprisingly dependable. The Heritage Rough Rider is one of those guns many seasoned shooters might overlook at first glance. But look closer at national sales reports, and you'll find this little single-action rimfire sneaking into the top 5 again and again. This isn't a one-time sales spike, it's a repeat pattern. Chambered in .22 long rifle, with some models offering swappable cylinders to shoot .22 Magnum. The Rough Rider typically comes with a 6 1/2 inch barrel and fixed sights. It weighs just over 33 ounces. The barrel and cylinder are made from steel, while the frame uses a zinc-based alloy, keeping costs down without sacrificing too much durability. Most models are priced between $130 and $160, making it one of the most accessible revolvers you can buy today. On paper, it's simple. In your hand, it feels exactly like that, and that's what gives it value. Loading involves cocking the hammer to half position, opening the loading gate, and feeding each round one at a time. That process builds patience and firearm handling skills, especially for newer shooters. It's the revolver equivalent of a bolt-action .22 rifle, steady, safe, and dependable. It's also just plain fun to shoot. Low recoil, a classic cowboy vibe, and a surprisingly decent trigger for the price. With quality rimfire ammo, it can stay accurate out to about 25 yards, especially with the longer barrel variants. At the range, it won't turn heads, but it never sits idle for long. People always want to take a few shots with it, especially new shooters or parents introducing kids to firearms. Heritage has sold hundreds of thousands of these little wheel guns. Gunbroker's 2024 annual report confirmed that the Rough Rider held steady among the top 5 best-selling rimfire revolvers, with strong sales continuing into 2025. These revolvers aren't being locked away, they're in the field, in tackle boxes, in toolkits, and in people's hands for target shooting, pest control, or just casual fun. It may not be pretty or high speed, but the Rough Rider keeps selling year after year by being exactly what it promises to be: a simple rimfire revolver that works. Taurus Judge. Then there's the revolver that's built for utility, not approval. The Taurus Judge doesn't rely on social media buzz or glowing reviews to justify its existence. It just works, and it works in environments where no one's rolling film. Chambered to fire both 45 Colt cartridges and 410-bore shotgun shells, this wheel gun stands apart on that feature alone. Depending on the version, barrels range from 2½ inches up to 6½ inches, and some models can handle 3-inch shells too. That makes it one of the most adaptable revolvers on the market. Functionally, it operates like a standard double-action revolver, but with added bulk to handle the larger payload. That size helps soak up some of the recoil, especially with heavier 410 loads. In testing, the 410 buckshot shells produced noticeable muzzle rise but stayed controllable. When using 45 Colt, the recoil is more linear and the shots are easier to predict. You're not going to win any precision matches with a Judge. It's not meant for tight groups at 25 yards. But at close range, say 7 to 10 yards, it excels. Whether you need birdshot for critters or hollow points for defense, it delivers both. What keeps the Judge moving quietly but steadily in the marketplace is its versatility. It's a practical option for folks living out in the country, truck drivers, and anyone who wants a multi-role handgun. Some purists dismiss it as a novelty, but Taurus has kept expanding the lineup for one clear reason: people keep buying them. Data from late 2024 through early 2025 consistently shows the Judge listed in Gunbroker's top 10 revolvers. You don't buy this gun for looks, you buy it for what it can do when things get real. The Taurus Judge is the revolver you load up and drop into the nightstand or the center console, not to admire, but to rely on. It's built for problems, not for praise. And in that role, it's earning every sale it makes. Ruger LCR. Not every firearm gets a second chance. Some just fade away. But once in a while, a revolver comes along that reshapes the whole category, and that's exactly what Ruger pulled off with the lightweight compact revolver. Better known as the Ruger LCR, Ruger flipped the script by swapping out the traditional all-metal frame for a hybrid build. A polymer fire control housing, a solid aluminum upper frame, and a stainless steel cylinder. Depending on caliber, this revolver tips the scales between roughly 13 and 17 ounces. It's offered in everything from 22 long rifle to 38 special plus .327 Federal Magnum, and even .357 Magnum, but the top seller continues to be the 38 Special plus P model. On first glance, It looks like a tool, not a showpiece, but once you pull the trigger, it becomes clear what Ruger was chasing. That cam-driven double-action system delivers one of the smoothest non-stacking pulls in its class. With standard 38 loads, accuracy stays tight, even with quick follow-up shots. Plus P rounds give it a solid bark, but it never feels out of control. This is the kind of revolver people rely on when the lights go out, not something you bring to flex on range day. It disappears into a pocket, an ankle holster, or a nightstand drawer without drawing attention. As the years roll on, the LCR continues to show up in gunbrokers' top sellers list, especially among those buying their first concealed carry gun or picking up a lightweight backup for their main rig. It doesn't try to win any beauty contests, it just works. And in a world full of gimmicks, that's what keeps people coming back to it. Nobody brags about carrying an LCR, but a whole lot of folks sure do. Smith & Wesson 686 Plus. There are carry guns. There are hunting revolvers. And then there's the Smith & Wesson 686 Plus, which feels like it was forged for both roles without compromise. This is a full-sized, double-action wheelgun, chambered in .357 Magnum, packing a 7-round cylinder. Barrel lengths range from 2.5 inches to 6 inches, but the 4-inch model tends to hit the sweet spot for most shooters. Made entirely from stainless steel and featuring a full underlug barrel, it's built like a tank and balanced like a sports car. Once you get it on the line, it's easy to feel why this revolver earns the reputation it has. The weight helps soak up recoil, making full-power .357 loads feel less like a slap and more like a solid push. The double-action trigger is smooth, and while it's not match grade, it's consistent and confidence-inspiring. It's the kind of firearm you use to teach a nephew how to shoot, or strap to your hip while trekking deep into the woods. If you only had one revolver to last a lifetime, a lot of experienced hands would point you right here. Market-wise, this isn't a flavor of the month gun, it's the backbone of the mid-frame Magnum segment, year after year. Throughout 2024 and into early 2025, the 686 Plus has remained one of the most purchased revolvers in its class. It doesn't need gimmicks. It's a tried and true tool that offers an extra round and old-school reliability. No frills, just forged steel and real performance. Diamondback SDR. Every once in a while, a revolver hits the scene from way out in left field, no big legacy, no decades of heritage. That's what happened with the Diamondback SDR. Known more for their modern sporting rifles and striker-fired pistols, Diamondback made a bold move in 2024, introducing a double-action, 6-shot revolver chambered in .357 Magnum, and to everyone's surprise, it landed well. The SDR features a 4-inch barrel with a full underlug, a stainless steel build, and rubber grips that help manage the stout recoil from full-house Magnum loads. It also includes a bright fiber optic front sight, which makes sight acquisition quick, especially under natural light. In single action mode, the trigger is crisp and clean. In double action, it's a bit heavier than some, but still usable for rapid fire. I ran a few boxes through this revolver at the range, and it held respectable groups at 10 yards with minimal effort. You're not going to win any bullseye tournaments with it, but for defensive use or field carry, it more than gets the job done. Sales haven't skyrocketed, but there's a steady climb in demand, particularly among those wanting a no-nonsense Magnum revolver without spending north of $1,000. By early 2025, it started popping up on gunbrokers' trending lists. No polished heritage, no fancy marketing, just solid construction and reliable shooting. If Diamondback keeps this up, the SDR might just become the new standard for budget-conscious shooters who still want real stopping power. Before we wrap this up, here's the bottom line. In a gun world obsessed with trends, hashtags, and influencers, these revolvers prove that practical, proven designs still have a place, and a strong one at that. They're not just popular, they're trusted. Whether you're brand new to wheel guns or you've been pulling double action triggers since before social media existed, these models continue to earn their spots in safes, holsters, and glove compartments across the country. If one of your favorites made this list, or if you've got a sleeper wheel gun I didn't cover, drop it in the comments. I check them all. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's a good time to fix that. Appreciate you joining me for the ride. Until next time, stay steady, stay sharp.